Because, Iowa's so fucking amazing and I love it there. Fucking hate Iowa.
Tell me how you really feel.
Fuck Iowa.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the wrestling show with the hour of the Brewd in the forest.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am, as always, Bud Robinson, and this is, as always, the BREWDCAST. Tonight with me is Townicus, and eventually, Leon will be with us.
He's pooping.
This time we're not even joking. He's
actually pooping. He's legit taking a dump.
1,000 feet long. And we got impatient, so we're just gonna talk smack about him until he shows up. Man, that Leon. I don't have any smack to talk about him. He sure is a considerate human being.
It's all over. AEW's done. We should just quit because Jade went to WWE. It's all over. It's all over.
That's how we're starting. Yeah, it is.
That's all I've been reading this week is it's over. AEW's done. They lost Jade. What?
Like,
what the fuck? I do think they're gonna lose some more people to WWE.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna lose Cody people.
Contracts coming up.
I think they're gonna lose Ricky Starks. I really think they're gonna lose Ricky Starks.
I don't know.
I really think they are. He's such a Cody probability. He's such a Cody guy.
Mm-hmm. And they're apparently very interested in him. Which
I think they're gonna lose Powerhouse Hobbs too.
I don't know how I feel about that.
The Cody guys. I worry about Powerhouse because I don't think
he's also a punk guy, Hobbs.
And I think I honest to God think, I think Punk's going back. I think that's pretty clear. I think he's going to go back with that chip on his shoulder if they let him come back.
Yeah.
I don't know. I look around and I'm like, I love reading the comments because everybody's like, if MJF wants to be a star, he needs to come to WWE. Blah, 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 blah. MJF's not going anywhere.
He's a star. He is. He just already is.
He's not going anywhere.
Like, and he's doing his best work. And he's 20 again. Like,
the thing about it
thousands of times, but he's 26 fucking years old.
I think the issue with MJF is that if he went to WWE, he could fit in WWE really, really well. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not going to argue that because I think the guy has like a chameleon. He can do whatever he wants. They're not going to let him be the MJF that he is, and that's going to piss off the fan base.
And he's going to have to reprove himself because that's how WWE is.
There is such a divide in the fan base right now of like you're either WWE or you're AEW, and you can't be both. And I remember when WWF and WCW were doing this in the late 90s, and it was the same fucking thing. And then it was like every time they stole somebody from the other show, it was ha 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 ha. But then when they lost somebody, it was like, well, that doesn't matter. We weren't using that guy anyways. They did it every fucking time.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here, it's like we're doing the same fucking thing.
Yeah, but I see discourse, not it probably as intensely as you do, but I see it in discourse between done by WWE fans, and I see discourse done by AEW fans, and AEW fans are just like, whatever, man, fine. Like, they don't see this as a war.
I think the discourse that you're seeing, is in like more wrestling based chat rooms because you're always on Reddit.
Fair, yeah.
Guess where I'm reading this shit. I'm reading it on Facebook, which is fucking insane. And it's just like these people, these WWE fans are just like, well, of course MJF's going to come. It's the biggest show. Why would you want to be anywhere else? Why would you want to do anything else? And then the AEW fans are like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? You guys suck. You don't have good matches. Have you seen NXT? And they're like, yeah, it sucks. And it's just they're both so. I don't like the WWE fans are like trained to think one way, and they're trained to think like the only place you can be a success is in WWE, and this is not true. And it's so frustrating. And then there's AEW fans who are in the same boat where they're just like, WWE sucks. They can't wrestle. Everything they do sucks. They have no good matches. That's not fucking true.
Yeah,
WWE is really great fucking wrestlers. They have a fuckload of talent.
Mm-hmm.
And I just sit here and it's just like, think part of the reason I stopped watching WWE was those fans, because you just can't. It's so fucking hard to sit here and be like, listen to people talk about how great WWE is, and then you watch the product and you're just like, that sucked. And I got burnt so many times by it. It's like, I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. Go. Jade's gone. Great. I hope she does great.
Yeah.
I have nothing against Jade. I recall many times on the show saying Jade would be so much better off in WWE because she can't work. She's not a very good wrestler. Hi, Leon. How was the poop?
I need to hydrate better.
I don't want to talk about that because it's gross. I was just telling Bud that it's all over for AEW. We might as well just pack it in because Jade went to WWE, so it's all over.
It's all over?
All over.
So
that's what the Facebook WWE fans
are we going to be done too then?
Yeah, we're actually.
Are we going to be done too then?
This weekend, we're taking a break. The three of us are going to get on a call. We're going to learn how to crochet. This is now our crocheting podcast. So
we might be more popular.
Okay.
Can you crochet?
I can't.
Shirtless crocheting. No, I was just talking about how every WWE fan that I'm reading about is like, it's over. All the stars are coming to WWE, and they're all going to come over, and it's done. AEW's done. They don't have anybody left.
All?
Yeah, that's the consensus. MJF will be there in 2 weeks apparently because they don't understand how contracts work.
So I have loads of thoughts. I'm just gonna rattle them off as they come back into my brain because I've forgotten most of them. But when we think about when you think about,
okay, bud.
Thank you. When you think about like the WWE and WCW war, right? Like when Lex Luger went to WCW, that was a big deal because Lex Luger was a big name, and they used him as a big name. If let's say MJF goes to WWE,
that was the first jump, right?
The what?
That was what?
That was the first jump, right?
Maybe
the first jump.
No. There was a lot more people. There was a lot more people that jumped before that. That was the first Nitro. That was the first Nitro, and that was like the surprise jump that nobody knew was going to happen.
Yes, sure.
So it was. It wasn't the first because like Savage jumped, Hogan jumped, Brutus Beefcake jumped, Big Boss Man jumped, Erwin R. Scheister jumped, Kamala jumped. I could keep going. But there's a ton of guys that jumped.
WWE and WCW.
Put some respect on his name.
Okay.
WWE and WCW. I'm getting back to
Leon, shut up. Leon, shut up.
So, like, WWE and WCW were mirror images. They were clones. And that was by design. Like, WCW was trying to be WWE. Okay, I'm oversimplifying. But they were trying to be WWE. So when they brought in Lex Luger, he was a big name. When they brought in the Outsiders and when they brought in Hogan, they used them as big names. When you have MJF, if he were to move to WWE, or even Ricky Starks, like, fuck, bring Hangman. Like, send Hangman to WWE. Do you know how they're going to use him? They're going to send him to NXT. And we know this because they've done it with other guys. They did it with Bobby Roode. They did it with Sami Zayn. They did it with, like, all of these guys that got big on the indies. And let's be honest, WWE sees them as indie stars. So, like, the idea that if Ricky Starks leaves, if Jade Cargill leaves, if so-and-so leaves and goes to WWE, then it's all over because they're going to bring all your fans. It's just not, I don't see it because like when you talk about those fans, the fans are different. Like the fans in WWE are going to look at Jade Cargill in the same way that they looked at Shinsuke Nakamura when he first came over. And he was a fucking star in Japan. He was.
I don't know about that. He was. I'm not saying I'm arguing with you.
Okay.
I think with these WWE fans, he was a star. I'm not arguing he's a star. I'm talking about Jade, not Shinsuke. Shinsuke was the fucking man. Mm-hmm. Shinsuke was the fucking man. Gotcha. He was not just a star. He was the fucking man. Like that's not what I'm arguing. I'm talking about Jade.
You know, Wrestle Kingdom, all that fun stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he was great. Shinsuke was great. Love Shinsuke. Dude was a massive star. That's not what I'm arguing about Jade.
Gotcha, my bad.
Jade has a look, and people know who she is. And these WWE fans watch AEW probably a little more than we think they do, and because they're on all the AEW fucking shit. So they watch the clips and they follow AEW so they can complain about it and like make fun of it. And I think AEW fans do the same thing to WWE. It's really toxic. It's like if you read that shit, it's just fucking toxic.
Oh,
even like the fucking, even the like going on like Lords of Pain, and like reading the comments. It's fucking it's all toxic.
You still go there?
Yeah, I do. I love it. It's entertainment. But I think Jade. I think people look at Jade and she looks like a star, and she looks like what WWE has told you is a star, and they've seen enough of her, and they keep saying the rhetoric that I'm getting right now is that AEW doesn't know how to make stars. Okay, but Jade is a star, and they lost their star. So then it's like, wait a minute, you just said they can't make stars, but she's a star, and they made her. Well, it's just because of how she looks. It's just because of how she looks. It's just
no.
I think Ricky's gone. I don't think Ricky's gonna stay. I think Ricky's pissed. I think Ricky's pissed that Punk left. I think Ricky's super pissed. I think he feels like every time he gets going in AEW, they pull the rug, and I think he's just gonna say fuck it and go. And he's real close with Cody. I think he's gonna go, and I don't think that's gonna go well for him because I don't think he's the same level of. He doesn't have the look that Jade has. Like Ricky's got a good look, and Ricky can cut a promo. But they're gonna look at Ricky. They're gonna go, yeah, okay, give him the US belt, and he can just stick on that. Like we'll work him up to that. That's kind of I think how they look at Ricky because he's just not what they're looking for. And I look at I think they're gonna make a play for Hobbs. I think they're gonna make a play for whoever the fuck they can. I think some of these guys will go. I think like House of Black. I think Malachi, as soon as he can go back, goes back. I don't think Malachi is going to stay in AEW because his wife's in WWE. Triple H is there. Triple H has some power. He's going to go back. I know that. I'm okay with that.
I mean, I think that's why they're building up Brody. I don't think Brody will go.
I think Buddy's going to go back too, though.
He might
because his wife is there. And those guys, if those guys go back, they do something with him, like Triple H will use them. I don't think Brody will go. I think Brody's their investment in that group, but I think there's a lot of people where it's like, yeah, they're going to go, but the other side of that coin is, I think there's some guys in WWE that are going to go to AEW.
Mm-hmm.
I just think there's people that are going to move, and I think that's just kind of the nature of it. But then I look at like Adam Cole. There's people that think Adam Cole's going back to WWE. He's not fucking going back. Or like Britt Baker, they're not getting Britt Baker. There's no fucking way they're getting Britt Baker.
Britt is like hardcore AEW.
Yeah, there's no way they're getting Britt Baker. They're not going to get a Tony Storm. They're not going to get a Saraya. Like those people, they're not going to get. Danielson's not going back.
No,
he's staying.
Well, he's got a year. He has said that.
Well,
I don't think we mentioned that, but
yeah,
he's talked about how he's told his family he's going to wind it down in the next year. And
he said he's still gonna wrestle here and there, but it's not going to be in every.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to be a full-timer, which I think is fine. Like he's earned that.
He's going to have an RVD schedule.
But he's also going to run booking and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's guys that aren't going to go. I think one of those guys like Hangman's not going to go.
Mm-mm.
Bucks aren't going to go. Omega's not going to go. There's no fucking
just in booking and coaching people behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Even if he's not on screen every week.
I think one of the people on the list of never going, I think it's MJF. I don't think MJF is going to go because I think Tony Khan's not going to let it fucking happen. Because Tony Khan's going to pay him way too much money and he's way too important. And I just there's this.
He's definitely going to get a premium.
Oh yeah, he already did. There's no fucking way they don't have him sign long term. There's no fucking way. But they're not going to tell you because if they tell you, that kind of kills the whole 2024 storyline.
They can't put that drama on screen then.
Yeah.
I'd imagine the next couple weeks we'll probably finally get behind the scenes confirmation is the word I'm looking for that he has been locked up already. I'm sure soon it's going to leak out to Dave. I think it is.
I don't think so.
I think it will.
I don't think it will. I think they're going to hold off on that one as long as they can. I think that might just be a MJF Tony Khan deal. I think I don't think anybody else knows. I think they're smart enough to do that because of how well it plays into what he's doing. there's this weird smugness that these true like hardcore WWE marks have, that everyone wants to be there and that's the only place to be. And I think
naturally.
And they don't want to have they don't want to have any competition, and they don't understand how good competition is for the product. And I think the other really important piece of this is Endeavor, because I think with Endeavor, it changed UFC. And I know you two really don't watch a whole lot of UFC, but I watched a lot of UFC. And when Endeavor came in, it really fucking changed the dynamic of how UFC worked, and it really became more about what have you done for me lately, and it became less about like they're more interested in that. So like some of these guys that were hanging on for a while, like a Dolph Ziggler, like why would you ever fire Dolph Ziggler if you're running a company? It doesn't make any sense. But if you're looking at it the way Endeavor is, well, he's never going to fucking do anything. Let's get rid of him. Let's put somebody else there. And I think the more you read about these 6 months things, like every 6 months we're going to see what you're doing for us or how you're improving, how you're doing. They're going to make huge cuts every 6 months, just like the fucking UFC cuts people constantly now, because they're owned by a big company who cares only about the bottom line, because they only give a shit about their investors. And this is a different group of investors.
Yeah, they're publicly traded, right?
Yeah, just like WWE was, but it's different because they're a little more. It's a little more of a natural thing. So I kind of look at this and I go, are they going to justify paying some of these people these big contracts? You know, I know one thing, like Fox wanted CM Punk, and Punk didn't want to go there, and now I think they're gonna sign Punk because it makes sense for them to sign Punk. I think it's gonna backfire, because I don't think Punk's ready for that. I don't think Punk should be in wrestling, as I've said before. They're gonna sign CM Punk and they'll bring him in, and it'll be a fucking nightmare because that's just what Punk is right now. And then Jade, they're gonna cheer Jade because she's new, and they're gonna cheer Jade because she's from AEW and they want her to be a star. But my other caveat to this is, if we're going to keep bringing people in from AEW and we're going to use their AEW character, and that's how we're going to get them over in WWE, what does that say about what WWE is doing?
Yeah.
Because Cody's an AEW guy that's over in WWE. So it's just like, you shit sucks.
Yeah.
So.
And we've said it before on this show many times over, like, I can't help but laugh that anybody would think that AEW doesn't know how to make stars. I just like, I look at what they've done with Ricky Starks, and they have all of these guys that they've brought up from basically nothing. Darby Allin, and like the four pillars. MJF is definitely a part of that, and I think a large part of that is because they're giving more creative license to the wrestlers, but also they just know how to book stars. Maybe not the women's division, but let's not talk too much about that.
Becky
had some words about the WWE division for that respect.
The other caveat that I have for what we're talking about is if we start taking away some of these people, if Ricky Starks goes and if Powerhouse Hobbs goes, and I think they're going to go. I just think they are. I think there are two guys that are going to go. Powerhouse, I'm less sure on, but Ricky Starks, I'm pretty much like he's gone. If we start to lose some of those guys, that's going to open up more spots for these other guys that are dying for a chance that are really fucking good. And I like Sammy Guevara tonight.
Mm-hmm.
That dude's the main eventer. That dude's the shit. That guy has it. That guy's going to be a fucking star. We'll see what happens when Jungle Boy comes back. Darby Allin's your just baby face, from just the constant baby face everybody cheers. You can never turn him heel. He's not going to go anywhere. So you do have guys there that are going to kind of be, and they're marketable.
Mm-hmm.
WWE would love to have all four of them. They'd fuck up all four of them, but they'd love to have all four of them.
They would. And I mean, in the scenario that they do lose all four of those guys, look at looking at the card on Collision and looking at the card tonight, like they're bringing up guys that we sort of know, but don't know as well. Like on Collision,
but guys that need a chance. Guys that need a chance.
On Collision, they had FTR fight the Workhorsemen, which they've been spotty on, but like they had an amazing match, and Aussie Open was out there, and they had an amazing promo battle. Like, we're putting these guys out there who up until this point haven't had a chance to really shine. And I think Wrestle Dream is going to be, I think that's going to be a big turning point because they're bringing up a lot of guys who were just on the cusp and they're pushing them up far, like Swerve. Swerve is a great example. Like putting him up against Hangman, fucking perfect idea.
Well, you know what though, bud? I read that Swerve's going back because he doesn't belong in the Bush Leagues. He's going to be back in WWE. Before January, he'll be back.
Okay.
Never mind his contract. Before January, he'll be back.
Okay.
The shit people saying, it's just like
he's just gonna get out of it. He's gonna get out of it, Town.
Yeah.
He's gonna get out of it.
I have to go to WWE.
Town.
I have to go to WWE because
He's
WWE
get
is
out of his contract.
It's the greatest thing ever. I also did read in a similar text that about somebody was talking about something about Endeavor or something, and they're like, well, you know, Roman Reigns is such a badass. He could go to UFC and win the heavyweight championship in like 30 seconds.
No.
I'm like, if he went near John Jones, his life would end. John Jones would not just beat him. John Jones would like end his fucking life. John Jones is a scary motherfucker. Like, fucking scary motherfucker. He could beat the shit out of all three of us. Less than 20 seconds, we'd be laying on the fucking ground half dead. We wouldn't even get up.
Like,
yeah, no, like, nope, I'm cool. Like, but I mean,
while we're on the subject of ridiculous claims that Facebook users have made,
yes, I like this. Let's go. Where are we going?
Punch him in the nuts.
Leon's gonna punch him in the nuts.
You
go ahead. You go ahead.
No,
I'm running.
No. That's not what I said. I said I would distract him. You would grab him from behind because you are very, very strong. You could hold him.
Oh, so now you're changing the narrative now. What I heard was, I hate John Jones and I'm going to punch him in the nuts. Leon said that. I heard him.
He's going to be in Vegas soon, Leon. We might be able to set this up. You can go fight him quick before he defends his belt. He can kick the shit out of you in 4 seconds in the back.
What else is next? What's going on?
One kick the side of fucking Leon's head, he's laying on the ground. Bud, Facebook, go.
Ridiculous
what do you got?
Facebook claim, which I was not aware of, but was actually brought up at the Wrestle Dream media call. Apparently, Tony Khan is going to purchase NJPW.
Saw that. Never heard of it. No, nothing behind it. And I saw the video of that. Did you see the video of that?
The media call?
There's an actual media. Did you see Tony? His actual response?
I didn't see it. I just watched it.
He was completely befuddled.
He was like, "What the fuck are they talking about?"
What are you? What? It's like, no, I'm not. Like, what? Like, he didn't even play it off like wrestling style. Like, oh, you know, it was like, who the fuck said that? Where are you getting this info?
It's just like, it's absurd. I guess it's technically possible. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if Daddy Khan has the money for that one.
Why would
Daddy Khan has the money for that, but why the fuck would you do it?
Yeah,
it makes no sense. Why the fuck would they do it?
And the way that they are currently running their brands, the way that Tony Khan is currently running his company, his wrestling company, is that he has a finger on all of the fucking companies. Like, he's working on all of the companies in person. He's not going to fly out to Japan and then fly to California and then fly to wherever the fuck AEW is. Because, like, it's just...
I didn't realize New Japan was for sale. If it's for sale, maybe we should buy it.
It's $20, but no.
We could probably ruin it in a week or two.
Let's do it.
Tony's booking plan. Can we get Orange Cassidy? Let's just have him beat everybody.
I think we would have a mass exodus. I love Orange
Cassidy. Let's talk about Dynamite, because I have a lot of thoughts that are probably going to contradict a lot of your thoughts, bud.
Okay, before we do that, I want to see if there's anything on Collision that we should talk about. No, I mean, we had Ricky Starks fighting. I think I wrote that wrong. We had Ricky Starks fighting Bryan Danielson in the main event in a Texas death match. Pretty fucking sick. Like,
yeah,
Bryan Danielson went over. I don't understand why they did it. Like, I feel like having Bryan Danielson lose this close to his upcoming match just makes no sense. Why would you do that? So he was.
Yeah, I don't think they should have. Like,
they
should have done it.
It didn't really make Ricky Starks look any better. It was basically the same. It was an excellent match. It's an excellent match, but it doesn't progress the storyline. You know.
No, but they couldn't have had Bryan lose before he goes into that.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
My other comment was they had Julia Hart defeat Kira Hogan. And I'm noticing that Julia Hart's great, but like Kira Hogan made that match much, much better. Like
she got really good. I don't know when she got really good, but she got really good.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was her hanging around Jade. Maybe Jade taught her how to work because Jade is the reason AEW's dead.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, she left. Yeah. She was coaching Bryan Danielson, didn't you know?
Yeah, she taught him how to work.
And CM Punk and Hangman.
Fucking ridiculous.
None of them knew how to work until Jade showed up.
Jade.
Yeah, let's talk about Dynamite. So,
just a tiny little bit more comment on it. I was watching Rampage and Collision this morning, and I really liked what they're doing with Julia and with Brody.
Yeah,
the way they're building this up. Like she's coming along by leaps and bounds right now.
She's so young.
I'm really enjoying it.
She's so young, and she gets it.
She's a fucking baby, but she's doing really good. Like it's work teaming with those guys, and all that stuff. Like she is learning so much, and I love it.
She has felt like a sore thumb to me, and I don't remember which of these episodes I said it, but she felt like such a sore thumb in that group to me. And at some point she flipped, and I'm like, I get it now. I get her. When I saw her, I think it was after Collision. It might have been after Dynamite tonight. Where she sprayed somebody in the eyes. I think it was Sky Blue. So it must have been Collision.
Yeah.
She's standing there because like Brody stopped Sky Blue from getting after her, and then Brody steps aside and she sprays her. So like Julia Hart is looking all dark and menacing. She's got fucking mist coming out of her mouth. Like, it's just a fucking great image. And she's just like, the house always wins. I was like, oh shit.
Hey, shut up. AEW doesn't make stars. What are we holding on to? Fucking tribalism. So tired of it. Let's go over Dynamite.
Okay, anyway. So we started with Rey Fenix, followed up by Alex Abrahantes versus Jeff Jarrett with Team TNA. I can't tell if you are pissed about this or about to sneeze.
While
you are, I think that this was I don't think it was a good match. I think this was a good first match for Rey Fenix because A, it gave Rey Fenix a chance to shine, and B, Jeff Jarrett has gotten to a point where he realizes what his place is to put over other talent, and I appreciate that.
I have no qualms today with Jeff Jarrett. I thought Jeff Jarrett did a great job. I thought Jeff Jarrett was fine. I thought they used the people outside the ring great. I thought they used Karen Jarrett great. I thought they did everything great.
You do a town.
It's true. Like Jarrett gets it. He knows what he's got to do. He knows what he's doing. I give him all the credit in the world. Like he's doing what he has to do, and he's a name to a degree. My issue, and you can argue with me on this, but here's my issue, is the fact that you had Orange Cassidy have that belt, and he did so much for that belt, and then you gave it to Moxley, and Moxley was coming out and he was doing all this shit, and then you put Rey Fenix, who is this just incredible fucking worker. I don't think Rey Fenix has the charisma of a Moxley or an Orange Cassidy. I don't think Rey Fenix is the star. And I know Rey Fenix isn't supposed to have the belt. I'm not arguing that. Like, I get it. Shit happens. You're going to try to run with it. And I don't have a problem with Jarrett getting a shot. I don't have a problem with Jarrett losing. But I just watched Orange Cassidy have, like, fucking classic matches with everybody. And then I watched Jon Moxley come out and put on these good matches. Like, incredible fucking matches. And you give Rey Fenix, who can fucking work, probably in terms of like the high flying moves he can do, he's better than Moxley and he's better than Cassidy. Is he a better worker overall? No, I don't think so. But he's an incredible high flyer and he's fucking amazing. Why the fuck is he fighting Jeff Jarrett in like a sports entertainment comedy match? Like, what the fuck?
That's a very good point. Yeah.
Why didn't we put him out there with somebody that, like? And I get it, it's a big win against a name. And I get you're trying to make him like legit, but it's like, dude, give him somebody that he can fucking go with.
There's other names. I mean, that's a good point. I
that is my issue. I have no issue with anything they did in that match, and it wasn't in terms of what they were trying to do. It was a totally fine match, but for a championship that was so based on like work rate and great matches,
Jeff Jarrett's not there anymore.
putting him in there with Jared isn't exactly conducive to that.
It's a very good point, and not something.
And it just feels like Rey Fenix is playing pretend and doesn't belong there. It really is how it felt tonight, because I was just like, oh, cool, great,
yeah.
And like gauging the response to that match was just kind of, it was so flat. I thought it was so flat. Like, it did what it had to do, and Phoenix won. But you knew Phoenix was going to win.
Yeah.
He's not going to lose to fucking Jeff G. You hope.
Well, when the music played, I was hoping that it was going to be Jay Lethal, because I think that would have been a better match, Jay Lethal.
This is a work rate title.
Yeah. Or at the very least, it is right now. And I think if they want to get away from that, they got to give it to a heel who's like, I'm not going to fucking ever defend this. You can't just be like, well, Rey Fenix is now going to fight wrestlers who can't
but I don't think you do that.
Old wrestlers. That. No.
Because the Intercontinental title, Mr. Perfect had it. He was a cocky, arrogant heel, and what did he do? He defended that belt all the fucking time. You know, Honky Tonk Man was an arrogant heel, but he put that belt on the line all the time. He cheated, and he was not the greatest wrestler, but like he put it on the line. So when you have that secondary belt, that worker belt, you gotta have good matches, and you can't, like, Rey Fenix can't have a good match with Jeff Jarrett. You can have a passable match, which is what he had, but I'm just sitting there like, think of some of the fucking barn burners we saw Orange have. Think about the barn burners, like, Moxley didn't have that belt very long, but think of the shit he did. Like, he had some really good fucking matches in a short period of time.
And then we get 4 matches or something, 5 matches.
Then we get Jeff Jarrett. It's just like such a letdown for that belt, because that belt really got built up. That belt means more than every belt except for one. So it was just like, I was not into this at all. This was really flat for me.
It's the first week, but I get you.
But you should have started with a bang. You should have started with something.
I was ready to argue with you, but you're absolutely right. 100%. I think
it wasn't a bad match. I'm not saying it was a bad match, but it wasn't the type of match that should be on the line for that title. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Especially in defense number 1.
Mm-hmm. So the next thing was the promo with Better Than You, Baby, where Max threatened to, or almost knocked Adam Cole into the river. Adam Cole's like, are you going to hit me with the dynamite diamond ring and dump me in the water? What? No, I would never do that.
Then they caught the fucking Big Show as Captain Insano. I love it. It was such a good fucking segment.
It was a great segment.
Oh. I'm upset that Cole's hurt so bad.
Yeah,
because I wonder if they're gonna still do those promos and segments. I don't think they are.
I don't know how you can.
Yeah, because he's gonna have to have some time off.
Yeah,
but I think we'll get to that at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But this promo made me smile. It should have made Leon smile because Big Show wasn't in as Captain Insano. And Leon likes Captain Insano.
Captain Insano is a good boy.
I'm sure it will when I watch it later.
Oh, okay. There we go. No. It was funny. It was a good little segment.
It was. Did you watch the bit with the
Insano shows no mercy.
Did you watch the bit with the Righteous, Leon?
On Collision?
On Collision, yeah.
I saw it too.
I seen it.
How did you feel about that? Because I'm getting some very particular vibes from that group that you're probably picking up on.
I wasn't quite sure what to make of it at this point. Please expound.
They very much scream early Bray Wyatt to me. And the I don't remember what his group was called then.
The Wyatt family.
Yeah, the Wyatt family. Yeah, like it's refined, I guess, to some extent. But I just very much like. I'm here for it. It sucks that Bray is gone.
Kind of that Southern preacher / cult leader gone wrong thing.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
I like it too. I think it's got a good vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to see what they're going to do.
I do enjoy those sorts of things.
I wonder. I have so many questions about the pay-per-view. Keep going, bud.
And then we had the thing in Japan where Don Callis and Takeshita are hunting Ibushi in Tokyo, and then we later see that he kicks the shit out of him, like in his personal dojo, and some guy who's there, I'm assuming a trainer or something.
Fucking Don Callis, when he hit him with the thing, and then he gets up and Don Callis is like, oh, Oh shit! And he just runs backwards.
Don Callis,
and then
like,
and then fucking he hit him with the kettlebell. And Callis is like, "Yeah, we had him the whole time. I knew it." I love Don Callis.
Oh, he's such. He goes back and forth between like mastermind dastardly heel and fucking shitbird heel.
Yes,
like
perfectly
cowardly shitbird.
Perfectly.
He does it so well, so fucking well.
I agree. Yeah. So then we had the in-ring interview with them. The crowd loves Guevara. By the way, they just like. They're all over this shit.
They shit on him pretty good though. He got some good boos.
I like their I like that they're like aping some like mafioso shit.
Yeah.
Like him with his Scarface sort of deal.
I just look at Sammy Guevara right now and I'm like, here it fucking is.
Mm-hmm. This is
what he needs.
Yeah, his turn I think is the thing that he needed. Absolutely.
Yeah. And getting away from Jericho, as much as Jericho helped him, it was time for him to not be with Jericho. What he fucking needs is to decisively beat Chris Jericho.
I agree. Yeah.
Will they do that? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean Jericho's willing to go over for somebody, but I also think Jericho gets the chase, and I think that they'll probably push it. Like they'll push that win for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
I think so.
I don't know. And then we had
Samuel from side, a huge star.
Yep.
Then we had the backstage interview with Yuta and it was with Starks, but then Yuta came over and confronted him. I'm looking forward to that. Like Yuta versus Starks, I think is going to be good.
I think it'll be fine. The issue with Ricky Starks is they're not giving him what he needs.
No.
And I think that's going to play into. And he put a comment out there about how he misses Punk, and how Punk was a great guy and a great leader, and this and that, and this and that. And I think he should beat Yuta pretty easy.
One would think, yeah.
So,
but maybe that's the point. Like maybe the point is that he's gonna go over Yuta. They're giving him an easy win. Let's say it's not gonna be easy, but like that's the idea.
Yeah.
Looking strong.
Yes. Then we had Nick Jackson, Brian Cage, and Claudio Castagnoli, where the winner gets a shot at the AEW International title.
I enjoyed this.
I
enjoyed this.
Was surprised that they gave it to Nick, but I also kind of called it at the beginning. I'm like, they're going to give it to Nick because like Claudio and Brian, like they have a certain kind of match, and I don't think that they want to do that with Ray Phoenix quite yet.
Should have had this be Ray Phoenix's first match because it'll be good.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was good. I thought the ending was kind of cool. Mm-hmm. I thought they did a good job. I thought they played their role well. I'm glad that Brian Cage is on my TV every week. I think that's a really important thing because Brian Cage for a long time was totally forgotten about, and I think he is
fucking dope. Like
he's amazing. When he's like Swerve's muscle.
Yeah.
And when he turns on Swerve and says, "Fuck you, I'm not doing this," he's going to be a pretty big babyface. Because of his look, his promos aren't bad. He's got pretty good charisma. He kind of runs his mouth at weird times backstage, and I think that's his biggest issue. But, I thought this was good. I thought this was enjoyable.
I think he plays a phenomenal big man, like in the ring.
I think so too. He's a very talented guy, very, very agile.
Yes.
Pretty sure he's not on natty juice at all either. 100% natty. I see guys walking around like that all the time.
I believe you.
That finish of his is pretty disgusting too.
Yeah, he's good. He's great.
That is fucking sick.
I think the biggest problem that he had with going to WWE is they looked at him and they went, "Come on, come on."
We have a policy here. Come on.
Yeah, like I'm not sure like how the fuck we're gonna fake this because like, come on.
So next was the promo with the
Righteous. Wait a minute.
Medical exemption to the wellness policy.
There was a drug. I can't remember who the fuck it was. It was in WWF. It was fucking Marty Jannetty. It was fucking Marty Jannetty. Of course, it was Marty Jannetty. He took a piss test in like 91 or 92, and he was all fucked up on shit. So he got pissed from somebody, and they call him into the office, and they're like, "Hey, we got your piss test." We want to talk about it. I'm clean. I haven't taken anything. Da 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 da. They're like, yeah, no. You're pregnant. I fucking love Marty's is the gift that keeps on giving. It's just like,
oh, good lord.
And then you go back and you watch like 1988 Marty Jannetty in the ring. You're just like, if you like back then, it was like that guy's a star. That guy's gonna be fucking world champion, and he never
kept stepping on his own dick.
Yeah, essentially.
The most disgusting thing that Sam has ever said. But
he got pregnant.
He got pregnant.
He got pregnant. Marty Jannetty, you're pregnant. Okay, keep going.
So we had the Righteous.
He's going to take over the world, but nope. Time to have a baby.
Yeah. So then we had Better Than You, Baby come out and do an in-ring promo. Cole came out and told us that he exploded his ankle. Cole wanted to relinquish the titles. MJF decided that he's going to fight the Righteous himself, which I commend him for. I don't know how he's going to do it. We'll see. Although the Righteous would be a good tag team, that would be a good push for them, but they just started getting big. Anyway, neither here nor there, because that's not what they're doing right now. So Roderick Strong comes out and he says, Adam, it's an emergency. He doesn't say anything other than that. He just says, it's an emergency. Come with me. It's an emergency. So Adam's like, okay, I'm going to go.
Net Strong.
I thought for sure Strong was going to take his spot. I thought for sure because MJF be like, he's your brother, he's my brother too. Then I'll team with him. He'll take your spot and we'll go defend those belts. I thought that's what they were going to do.
I hadn't thought of that.
They went in a completely different direction with it, which I'm actually okay with. Yeah. So keep going, bud.
So
because this next part we're going to fight about.
Adam Cole leaves. Roderick Strong and the Kingdom leave, and then in comes the Bang Bang Gang. They all say their goodbyes, and Jay White goes in alone, and we have a promo battle between Jay White and MJF. Let's fight. Tell me why we're gonna fight.
Because you're not gonna like what I'm gonna say. Can I ask you what you thought of this before I go?
I think MJF shined. I think Jay White shined a little less. I liked what they did with the promo. I think Jay White's a really good promo, but I think they're two different kinds of promo. Is that not the answer you were expecting? Should I just say that Jay White?
No, that's not totally the answer I was expecting, but that's okay because I'm probably going to agree with you a little more. Maybe we're not going to fight.
Jay White is the best promo ever, and he proved it tonight.
You have a guy in MJF right now who is on. Nobody is on his level, and it's not. It's like fucking 98 Rock, and he goes out there and he can get anything over. He can do anything he wants, and you have Jay White who comes out and he starts talking about shit, and it just the problem with a guy like MJF is that he's a heel, but he's a face. Mm-hmm. And he just cuts you down, and the crowd gets behind it, and you can't get any of that fucking heat back. And they're clearly going for a feud, which I'm not opposed to. I like Jay White. I think Jay White's great. Mm-hmm. I'm glad he signed with him. But on what fucking planet should Jay White ever beat MJF for that title?
But who else do you put up there?
Yeah, sure.
No, I'm not saying that. Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it'll be a great feud and it'll be a great thing for him. But come on. Really, I'm not trying to be a dick, but his promo was fine. But you're going out there and he's trying to downplay MJF's promo, and I get it. He's a heel. That's what he's supposed to do. Mm-hmm. But the crowd isn't really.
Speak him?
the crowd isn't really responding the way he wanted. They weren't really treating him like a heel.
I'm going to disagree with you on that point. I don't know that that's not what he wanted. I think that Jay White is smart enough in this business to know that when he goes into a promo battle with MJF, he's not going to get the expected response. So I think that he was poking at MJF, not really concerned about the reaction, because what he's doing is telling a story. He doesn't really care necessarily.
I would agree. And Jay White is a very, very good professional.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of booking this fucking thing,
I mean, I think it's a start.
I just don't see it.
I don't think they're wrestling at WrestleDream.
I don't think they've done enough with Jay. I don't think they've done enough with Jay White to get him to that point. I think he's a huge fucking star, but you got to build the guy up a little bit. And MJF is so fucking white hot right now, and it felt to me like I'm a guy. I love heels, and I always have. I've always been a heel lover, and even when Rocky was face, I liked the heel.
I like feet.
You know, I was a Triple H guy when you guys fucking hated him, because you both hated Triple H for a while. I was a Triple H guy, and I was like, he's a good fucking heel, and you guys were like, oh, he's a piece of shit. Like, I love the heel piece, and MJF is Rock, and MJF is figuring out how to be a face, so he's still a little bit of a heel. But I look at this and I go, okay, he doesn't look. He came out there and he poked the bear, but he poked the bear by he poked the bear with something that just doesn't seem logical. Like, we don't know what kind of guy you are, or like your relationship with Adam Cole is bad, and da-da-da-da-da, and like that. But like, we've kind of proven all that wrong. So it just felt like something like, if you'd have done this a month ago, I think it would have worked better, because now it's just like, they just had this transformation, they just did this shit, Cole's hurt, you can't really play off of it, and it just felt like not the way for me to build that up. I wasn't.
But like, I look at that and I think this is I guess I'm looking at it differently. Like, I'm thinking that this is just the start of something. That they're not setting up something for WrestleDream. They're not setting up something for.
No,
like,
they're not.
week.
It's gonna be a slow build, and I get that.
I get, like,
I don't think that Jay White is the foil to MJF.
No.
And I don't think he will be. And I think we could try to build him up and put him there, but if you put the belt on him and took the belt off of Max, that would not be a good idea.
That's also I don't think that's the intention of doing a program with them. I think doing a program between those two shows us how good Jay White is, and proves more so that MJF is still our scumbag. Like, I think that's what they're doing. I think, like, AEW likes to do this thing where it's not where they match up two guys or two girls, and it's the point is not to. It's not necessarily to tell the story. It's to show what each person is capable of. And sometimes they do these storylines where like one guy is way up here, and Tony Khan knows that the other guy is way up here, but the fans don't know that yet. So they're trying to put these guys together, which is what, like, I think that's what they're doing with Swerve and Hangman. They've done a lot of work with Swerve, but they kind of poked at the fact that he's not a main eventer.
The only difference is the promo and the setup between Swerve and Hangman was good in this tonight. It just didn't land. It felt so just fucking. Just something about it was just like, I just kind of went, eh.
I don't think so. I think MJF's retorts were excellent. I
thought MJF looked like a fucking star. I thought MJF was white hot. I just thought Jay White. And I get that, and I get Jay White is smart. Jay White's talented. Jay White's great. I'm not knocking Jay White.
I know.
I'm just saying I don't think this went that good overall, and it just felt. It felt so forced, and it felt so just. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to ha 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 ha, and then I'm going to run away. It's just like, okay, whatever. It just did not. This did not land for me at all, and it's weird because I love Jay White, like I really do. Like, everything he does, the Bang Bang Gang, all the shit he does, all his matches and shit. The guy's fucking amazing. He's absolutely fucking amazing. But it just. This did not work for me at all. and maybe it'll get better. But right now, I'm just kind of like, ah. And I think a bigger issue that I have right now is that, and I think a bigger issue that AEW has, and I don't know if it's a real issue, but it feels like an issue. Who the fuck is going to beat Max?
Me. I'm going to do that.
No, but really, who the fuck is going to beat Max? Like you don't have anybody. Like now that he's face, it's even fucking harder.
I mean,
you're gonna have to cheat, but then if you cheat,
I think this is the real test for Tony Khan.
Because to WWE as well. Sorry, bud.
No, he's right. He's right. It's the same thing with Roman.
Yeah.
Like who the fuck's gonna beat Roman? Like, but Max hasn't run through the whole company.
But I think that's the real test for Tony Khan is that like he needs to know when to stop it. He needs to know when this is the end. And I think what he's doing right now is riding out the buzz and everything that MJF has behind him.
I don't think it stops. I don't think this guy stops. Because I think this, if you look at The Rock never fucking stopped.
Yeah, but
he lost the belt and did other shit, and he'll lose the belt and do other shit. But you look at the situation, it's like MJF should be the guy that's always right by that belt.
There will come a point where it makes sense to move on, and my hope is that Tony Khan recognizes that better than Vince ever did.
But he's been champ for about a year. Is
it really? Jeez.
Yeah, we're coming up to a year. And I'm starting to look around like, okay, where you're in, who the fuck have you built to put in that spot? Okay, you not Kenny Omega.
No.
Not Hangman.
I think it's one of the four pillars.
But who?
I think it's Darby. I think they're setting up this shit with him like he lost to the headlock takeover, and they have the Bugs Bunny shit that he did in that match. I think you can set up more stuff. You gotta
get behind Darby,
but you have that's which they're doing. Like before that match, he was recognizable. He was a big name in AEW, but he wasn't there yet. But now they have him on TV like every fucking week, and he's always doing something interesting.
My response to you right now, bud, is touche. You have a very good point. That's all I got.
I think they could heat Darby up in a hurry for that if they wanted to.
I think so.
I agree. I didn't even think of that. Like he's the guy. You're right. He's the fucking guy.
I mean, it could be Guevara. That's the thing is they've put Guevara and Jungle Boy and who's just Jack Perry now.
Well, Jungle Boy's gonna have to regain a lot. They're gonna have to figure out what the fuck they're doing with him.
Yeah, but I think they put those three into positions that are elevating them much quicker than they have in the first 5 years that they've been there, 4 years that they've been there. Like they're really pushing fast.
The only thing I could think of is if somebody else got hot quick.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I mean, Eddie would be cool. It would be cool to see Eddie do it, but I think he's just on a different. I think he's just on a different planet. Not talent level, but like I think that he's just doing his own thing. Like he doesn't give a shit about that. He's doing his own thing, and I love that. Like keep at it.
I just feel keep going because we're going to talk about something else that I have an issue with in a moment.
On the issue of Darby, we had a sit-down interview between JR, Darby Allin, and Christian. I only sort of saw this, so you're going to have to... I don't know if anything super interesting happened there.
Just, Christian's doing his normal Christian stuff, talking about dead people, and Darby washed off his face paint and said, I don't need to hide behind the face paint, I'm going to kick your ass type of thing. What do you do in that match? You just Christian can lose. I guess Christian should lose.
I think Christian's going to lose.
Because he doesn't need to have it.
And he's also no
Luchasaurus at ringside, no Nick Wayne at ringside. I think Nick Wayne might turn on Darby.
It's possible. I don't know. It seems a little too easy.
And get Christian a new person to leech off of?
I love Christian.
I could see that.
I think Christian needs to... I think he needs to lose. Though. I think Darby. I think if you're going to push Darby to that next level, give him a run. That TNT belt is such a weird fucking title. That's another guy I think is going to WWE Wardlow. huge friend with Cody Rhodes, and I think, but we've talked about that before.
At this point,
we've talked about that before, though. His size in AEW is really noticeable, but in WWE, he's just another dude. So,
and then I think he's pretty sour on WWE after, when he tried out for there and everything, and he's made a lot of comments about how they don't want people who are wrestling fans and everything. They just want big athletes who they can mold into their style.
Yeah.
I believe the comment was something about the fact that they don't want wrestling fans or something to that effect there in the PC.
Yeah.
And that really rubbed him the wrong way.
And but hey, they're taking over. The AEW's done, so
fine.
Keep going, bud.
So then we had Orange Cassidy defeating Penta, Matt Jackson, and Austin Gunn. I guess they're doing a 4-way at Wrestle Dream. Uh-oh.
Orange Cassidy won this match. Orange Cassidy won this match. You know what I said? No fucking shit.
Yeah.
One of these things was not like the other. There is a complete...
just doesn't belong.
There is a complete, uneven amount of star power in this match. And when Orange Cassidy's music hit, the crowd goes crazy. Everybody else gets popped. Mm-hmm. They're not bad. That's not what I'm saying. They're all great workers, and this was a good match. But, why the fuck is Orange Cassidy with Hook? Why are we doing another weird tag team like that? They're very similar, and they work really well together. Unless Danhausen comes back and joins them, then I'll shut up. But,
you hear that, Tony Khan, you coward? Put them together.
Orange Cassidy is a fucking commodity you have right now, and you're putting him in a tag team match. And it's no, don't do that. Don't just put him in a tag team. Put him in a tag team. Fucking have him start winning matches. Have him fight people again. Just have him keep doing what he was doing without the belt. Mm-hmm. And I just
And it's the Wrestle Dream is coming up. It would have been cool to see him in another Dream match, but also
name their top 4 baby faces.
I mean, Orange Cassidy's definitely up there. I think
MJF.
I think Hangman's up there now.
MJF.
Sure.
Hangman, I would put 2. Orange Cassidy, I would put 3.
Sure.
Those should be your
Kingston.
I would put 4-ish. Yeah. And Moxley, if Moxley's a face, he's obviously in there. But Orange Cassidy clearly is one of your most popular guys, and it's we're putting him in a tag team with Hook. Now Hook's great, but Hook doesn't really need an Orange Cassidy rub. They're not going to win that tag team match because it would be stupid. Why aren't we just
What is the match? Why are they doing the match?
I think it's for a tag team title shot, if I'm not mistaken. But it's just it's they're afraid to go with Hook and do shit, and they're.
I think they're just still working with Hook. I don't know.
I think you're right. But Hook can go.
Yeah.
He can go well enough to be on his own. Look at his match with Jack Perry. That was fine. Get him doing something else. Don't just put these guys in shit to put them in shit. That's how I feel. Is there not somebody Orange Cassidy can feud with right now? You know what I mean? And if he's not feuding, could he not just have singles matches? Because, the dude is fucking amazing. You can't argue it. We just had that title run, which was one of the best fucking singles title runs in 20 fucking years. Possibly 30. He had this incredible run. And now it's we're just going to stick you with Hook and put you in a team again. I'm just
I mean, maybe it's to give him some time because a tag match is less intense. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair, but it's just not... it just seems
It's a little weird. I'll agree with you. If they were going to do that, they should have just given him time. Just go sit on a beach somewhere.
Yeah.
I agree.
And it's just something to do for the sake of something to do, rather than having him in a holding pattern singles-wise if they're not going to, push him up to the world belt right now or anything like that. Tony
Khan is notorious for the holding pattern, though.
Yeah, there is a story to tell with Jon Moxley that they need to tell. Mm-hmm. And I hope that's where they're headed with him, but this just seems I'm not...
When Leon said that, I was maybe they're just holding off for when Moxley comes back.
But even then, I don't know. This to me was just like, I'm watching this match and I'm like, well, Orange Cassidy has to fucking win. You can't have him not win this match. No offense to those other guys. Like, Penta's great. Whichever Jackson was in there is great. And I love the fucking Ass Boys. Like, they're all good, but they're tag team guys who are a step below Orange Cassidy right now. Like, he's a made man right now.
Mm-hmm.
So let's capitalize on that. Why are we putting him in a fucking, like, he doesn't need to be going for the tag team belts. I guess that's just my...
That's fair.
That's my caveat. This match wasn't bad. That's not what I'm saying. This match is fucking amazing. But I just sit there and I'm just like, ugh. That's my worry. That's because that's what they do. People lose a belt, then it's just like they forget about him. And I'm like, you have so much goodwill for that guy. You have so much momentum for that guy. And he lost the belt to fucking Jon Moxley, who's like that fucking dude. If you're not going to build him up and have him beat Mox, like, what the fuck are we doing? Yeah. And I think they are, but they have to. I'm not a fan of what they're doing right now. Okay, I'm good.
Again, it's just a couple of weeks. Maybe they'll pick
I think
it
the
up.
Sid from Toy Story meme works really good for Tony Khan and any singles champion who loses their belt. I don't want to play with you no more.
To a degree.
What?
It's a squishy. You were talking about toys, so I thought it would be fitting for me to show off the fact that I'm playing with.
I'm just trying to figure out what it is.
It's a fidget toy, Leon.
Okay. So, I could probably use one of those.
Oh, I have a whole bowl. Come grab one. Anyway, so then we had Julia Hart defeating Willow Nightingale, which I wish they hadn't done that, but I understand why
they had to do it though.
They had to do it that way. Yeah, and they did it by nefarious means.
I thought this was a good match. Mm-hmm. I thought it wasn't bad.
This is my thing. Like, I think Julia Hart is still. I think she's still learning. But she's gotten really good, and I think that Tony Khan has done a really good job putting her with people who can not only teach her but make her look good. Which
I would agree.
Well done. And then we had the contract signing.
Well, since they're moved from the Varsity Blondes.
Yes.
Hey, that's another reason AEW died. Brian Pillman Jr. is now in NXT. We're done. It's all over. We lost Pillman and Jade.
Look, like...
I love Brian Pillman. They just never... It never clicked. And when he was out there, it just wasn't... like... And I think he got frustrated because he wanted to be on TV more. And I think... when they talk about the Varsity Blondes kind of getting the rug pulled out from under him, well, yeah, because Griff got hurt, and they lost Julia, and they looked like absolute idiots in that feud. But it's the fucking House of Black. Like, what were you going to do? Like, no offense to those guys.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's fair. I also, like you occasionally hear, like, from WWE, somebody will reach out and be like on Twitter or whatever, like, I've requested my release, or some, like, Dave Meltzer will be like, so-and-so requested their release, and they almost always say no, because they want to hold on to the guy, because they have star power or whatever, they just want to hold on to the guy until their contract runs out. And to Tony Khan's credit...
out of the other company's hands.
Yeah, to Tony Khan's credit, like... He wishes them well. He just, like, lets them go. If it makes sense, he'll just run out, like, stop their contract and say, go do what you need to do. I think that, like, Vince is all about the talent is going to keep working and doing things for me until I have no use for them anymore. Whereas Tony Khan is like, if you don't like it here, then go, and you're always welcome back. Well, maybe not always, but I mean, you get this.
It's confirmed by Bud. It's confirmed. CM Punk back to AEW.
It's true. In 2 months, he said so on his.
Then WWE will be going out of business.
Yes. So, like,
they're also going to sign. I don't know. Who are those two guys they turned into the El Matador and put masks on? The Colon brothers for a while there. Do you remember that?
You mean Cologne?
Colon, whatever they are.
Colon's a different thing.
Colon. That's a butt. They made those guys into the El Matador ×2 with stupid little masks on their head. And it's just like, oh my god.
I keep going. Desperately wanted Carlito to sign with AEW after he had like the Royal Rumble thing. in WWE, and
He's signed with WWE. They never fucking use him.
I was like, I called it. That's what they're gonna do, obviously. Like, and
we don't have anything for you. We don't have any creative. Go home. Okay. Can I work indie dates? No, you can't do anything.
Go sit on. Your couch.
How much are you paying me? Oh, okay, whatever.
Pretty much.
Contract signing was fine.
It's a little weird. I enjoyed it. Like I think
I thought it had a good vibe. I thought Hangman cut a good promo. I thought Swerve cut a good promo. Took a shot at the Denver Broncos, which was fucking hilarious because they're so bad. They're the second worst team in the NFL behind the Bears. And they play this week, so that'll be interesting. I'm tired of a certain piece of this. How many times can we stab somebody in the hand with a pen? Like, that's all they ever do. Taker did it to Brock. Brock did it to somebody. They constantly do it. It's like the most basic spot. I'm so tired of it.
I don't think I've ever seen that happen.
Did they sign the contract with the person's blood?
Not this time. They like to do that too, though.
But they got
separated. Well, I mean,
if there was a stabbing, I totally expected that.
No, they didn't do that. It was a pretty fake stabbing. It looked really bad.
In general, I don't really give two shits about contract signings. They always end up the same. Like, it's always...
Yeah.
They try... that. Like, on occasion, they'll try to be like, oh, it's going to be totally civil, and that's going to be the different thing about this one. And then it's just fucking boring. So
We've agreed to no physicality.
Great, then I'm going to watch something else. I don't fucking care.
Contract signings aren't good. I don't know what they... Yeah, I would agree. They're not
just
good.
Kind of silly.
There's such a trope of wrestling at this point.
Yeah, that's very true. They are a trope, and maybe that's why they keep doing them in AEW.
It's like wrestling weddings. You know where you're going. You're just not quite sure how you're going to get there. Every single time.
Tell me that the Triple H
or a wrestling birthday party. A wrestling birthday party. Somebody's going into that cake.
That's true.
Tell me that the best wrestling wedding ever was Stephanie and Test. When Triple H drugged her and took her through the fucking wedding chapel and did the voice. Christ. That was the most amazing fucking wedding ever. But it absolutely buried fucking Test. Like, done. And then he just disappeared, and that was that, and everybody forgot about him. And then he died of a drug overdose. It's kind of the story of his life.
I mean, yeah, you nailed it. Perfect biography.
Jumps right to it. Then he died.
Well, hold on, because somebody was talking to Nick Khan about how what they need to do is they need to bring Test back.
Oh, yeah.
To have an affair with Stephanie McMahon.
Who was that? I read that. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, who said that one?
Somebody somebody from Endeavor who watched the product back in the day was like, we need to bring Test back and have him.
He was interviewing or something for an announced position. And he brought that up. And it's like, I think Test is dead.
He's been dead for a couple years. More like a decade, but yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love it. And then at the end of the show, did you see
Sorry.
Did you see the last part?
There was a last part. I just saw where you got stabbed.
You didn't see Switchblade get attacked?
No.
That's how the show ended. He got attacked by 4 masked men and a guy in a devil mask. MJF's devil mask.
Intriguing.
So they beat the shit out of him at the end of the show.
I did.
But my thing is, I don't know if that was MJF or I don't know if that was
Roddy in a devil mask.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been a lot of things.
Oh my god, his neck injury is fake. Sorry.
Well, but that's how they ended the show. So they're obviously going with that. It wasn't bad, but it was just kind of like, okay.
Okay, fine.
It felt too basic. That whole thing feels just too basic.
I also don't know why. I don't know why Jay White would be the one who would be getting attacked. Why wouldn't MJF be the one? Whatever. Because
it was MJF's crew. Do you remember when he wore the devil mask?
No. I understand.
Because Jay White said you're not the devil anymore. You're too soft. So MJF's like, here I am. I'm going to beat you up, but we'll see. There's somewhere to go with that.
That's totally 100% not on my feed. Or I missed it. But I think it was just not on my feed.
It was like right. It was a little bit of an overrun, I think.
Weird.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was fine. It was whatever. I mean, it was like a minute.
I think it's I think that's what it is. I think that's why I don't have a problem with the MJF and Jay White thing, because I know that it's just the start of something, and they're like,
I don't have a problem with it.
Something
that's
weird.
Not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like them having a feud, I just thought what they did tonight wasn't very good compared to like MJF with Samoa Joe or MJF with Punk or MJF with a lot of other people. He's done a really good job. This to me was just, it felt so run of the fucking mill. It almost felt like a Rock British Bulldog promo, like when he rock bottomed in the poop.
Ugh.
You remember that?
That one was.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like the promo for that was just kind of like Bulldog wasn't a great promo, but he wasn't a bad promo. But it was like he got eviscerated and then looked like a doofus. And that's kind of the vibe I got tonight. Was like he just got eviscerated and tried to act cool and like it wasn't there, but it was like he was supposed to have this like laissez-faire tough guy attitude of like, well, I don't care, blah blah blah. But it was just like you got your shit ripped to shreds, and you tried to come back, and it wasn't really very good. That's how I felt. I think that's the best description.
Just tune in next week. You're telling a story, damn it. Yeah, we always do. Like that's how it is.
Yeah.
To be continued.
Also, thanks
Vince. Go.
Thanks to Nyla Rose, I will always prefer to call them the Pew Pew Crew. Just saying.
Love it. Vince apparently wants out of the E.
I've heard that. Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not.
It was from apparently it was from Endeavor.
I think they're planning that because I think they're very worried about that SEC thing that he got in trouble for, where they came in and like, there's a really good chance that they're gonna do something bad to him because he did some bad shit.
This surprises me to my very core.
I have a lot of concerns with Endeavor.
This is my shocked face.
I have a lot of concerns with Endeavor because I think they've left UFC alone. They've let Dana White do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
But Dana White's like doing really, really good. And like WWE is not really trending that way. And I'm like, are they, because like how long until they sit here and they look at it and they go, well, this isn't doing what we wanted to do. We're going to fire Triple H. Because I think Triple H is the guy that should be there. I don't think anybody here is going to argue that point. Like Triple H should be the guy.
He should be.
But how long until they're like, And then I worry that it's going to turn into a situation like it was in WCW where they just keep pulling random people in. And that won't be good. And I think that's a huge advantage AEW has Tony. You know what I mean? Like, it's a family-run guy. He's a guy. He's got the last say in it. And now they've got to answer to a lot more people. So if Endeavor decides, like, we want this person to be champion, or we want this person to get a push, are we going to start to see really, really bizarre shit happen? Like, would they, if they would, like, they would sign a guy that looked like Giant Gonzalez and work like Giant Gonzalez and be like, he's so tall and big and scary, just make him the champion. And then they kind of force their hand. Like, shit like that worries me. When those big companies that don't understand it get involved, I hope Endeavor's smart enough to realize they don't know shit about shit.
Yeah.
But, and then I hear things like...
No, they don't know shit about fuck.
Then I hear things like, well, let's get tests. And it's like, oh, that's really scary. That's really scary. So I just... Yeah, I don't know.
We bring back Yokozuna?
Yes.
That's what the Saudis wanted. You must have Yokozuna in that match.
I know.
He's been dead for a while. I know. He's been dead for a while. We can't do that. We'll just sign some random sumo wrestler. People love sumo wrestlers. And then he was in the ring for like a minute.
Okay, Bono.
That's just bad. It's just bad.
Was that the Big Show bit?
No, that's a different one. That was the greatest Royal Rumble. The greatest Royal Rumble. In the Saudi thing that just...
Oh, right, because it was 40 people instead of 30.
Saudi Blood Money won. I don't know. Like, I sit here and I think I love wrestling, and I've loved wrestling for a long time. Probably since I was a little kid. And I was such a WWE guy, and we all were. And, like, what would get me to go back to that company right now? And the answer is, I like nothing.
I don't know.
I would not say nothing for me.
That's how I feel, because it's like in the back of my mind, like I can't watch it because I get so fucking irritated with it. And even when they do the shit they're supposed to do, it's like I'm not like when Daniel Bryan won the championship at WrestleMania 30. I was happy, but I was also more like relieved that they didn't fuck it up. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the feeling I have. I'm either sitting there like, oh my god, I can't believe you fucked this whole show up, or I'm like, oh, okay, you did the right thing. Thank God, because you guys are so fucking stupid. Or I'm like, wow, this is a train wreck. I'm just going to watch this unfold because this is fucking insane. Like 2014 Royal Rumble.
All right, good night, everybody. This has been Bud and Leon and Town, and we have been talking about AEW for the last time. Join us next week when we crochet together. We haven't come up with a catchy, funny name.
We're going to crochet penis covers.